is the ranked system in the final Season 4 good? That is what I'm going to be talking about in this video. Is it good? So in the betas, in Season 1 and in Season 2, there wasn't really a whole lot of a matchmaking system, or a rank system for that matter. Whoever played the most got the highest score on the leaderboard. That was pretty much just how it worked. I got the Diamond 4 in 2 of the betas, in Season 1 and in Season 2, and I can confidently say, all as a solo queuing player, and I can confidently say that it was pretty much just, if you played a lot of the game, you probably just eventually got to Diamond, whether or not you were winning or losing games so much, you generally just kept going up. That's how it worked in those seasons. In Season 3, I don't know how it worked because I didn't play Terminal Attack, and now in Season 4 we've got a proper rank system for the proper ranked game mode for the first time ever. It's a first for sure. So, is it fair? That's what I'm going to be talking about. So if we go to our career and we go to my leagues here, I've been in platform multiple times, but the main problem that I'm having with this rank system is winning 3 games. Let's say it gives you 1,500 points. It probably gives you much more. Let's say it gives you 6,000 points for winning 3 games. So like 2,000 per win. Winning 3 games gives you 6,000 points, right? Let's just imagine those are the numbers. And now let's imagine you lose a game. That's also minus like 5,500 to like 7,500 points. So 3 wins is equivalent to 1 loss, which I don't think is very fair, because it's much harder and it takes much more time to get to the final round of the tournament and place first place than it does to just instantly come last. Like, you have to have a very good win rate to be able to get to the final round and then win. So you have to do like really, really, really well to get to the final round of the game and also to win that game. But I feel like the rank system isn't taking that into account. I feel like it's treating it like CSGO, where either you win or you lose, and there's only like 1 game, you know? But in the finals, there's actually multiple rounds, so I feel like you should be rewarded for each round, or just be rewarded more for winning a tournament, because it's very hard to do, because you need to win like 3 individual matches to win 1 game, if that makes sense. You need to win 3 individual rounds of a tournament to win the tournament. And that's not so easy to do. You need to have a good win rate to do that, and it takes 3 wins to negate 1 loss. And I don't think that that's a very good system. Yes, you should be punished for, you know, sucking in a tournament for sure, but I feel like the losses are much more harsh than the wins, and that doesn't make so much sense to me. I feel like it makes much more sense for coming first place in a tournament to be equivalent to like at least a loss or 2 maybe, but right now it takes 3 wins to negate 1 loss, and I just don't think that makes so much sense, given that you have to have a really good win rate to win a tournament, because you have to win 3 individual rounds to win the match, which is hard to do. It's like you have to have more than a 50%. You have to have like you have to have above a 50% win rate to win that, which is difficult to get. And you have to do it like 3 individual times, which is pretty difficult. And then you lose 1 game, and then there goes your, you know, 3 consecutive wins that you just got, that you were just grinding for like 3 hours, because winning takes a lot more time than losing does. So you can grind for like 4 hours, and you can win, let's say 6 games, go up 1,200 points. You lose 2, there goes them points, there goes that 6 hours of grinding, and I just feel like that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And it just doesn't feel great. Doesn't really feel great when you spend a whole lot of time getting to the final round, winning that final round, and then the next game you just lose, and now you're lower down on the rank system than you were before. I just don't think that that's great. I think it needs to be changed one way or another, because right now it's super punishing, and I know a lot of people are going to be saying, hey, it's a rank system, it's supposed to be tough. But the thing about it is that the finals is very, very unique. It's a very unique game in the way it works, and the way it functions, and the way cash out works. And because it's like a round-based system, you can't compare it to other games. You can't compare it to Apex or CSGO or Overwatch or anything like that, because all of those just are like 1 game. You play 1 game, and you either do well or you don't. But in the finals, one game is like 3 rounds. It's like 3 individual games. So, you know, it's just like, it's different. It's not really comparable. Like, yes, you can win the same way you can win in Overwatch, but in Overwatch, winning is like a 50-50. Either you win or you don't. In CSGO, it's a 50-50. Either you win or you don't. And in the finals, it's like, you can win, but can you win the next round? And if you win that, that's great. Can you win the final round? And if you win that, then congratulations, you won. But hey, make sure you don't lose, because then you're gonna go way down the ranked leaderboard again. So I don't really have anything to compare it to, because it's really just unique, and I don't know of any games that do anything similar to this. So I can understand that it's probably pretty difficult to manage, and I would say that's why there's been a lot of difficulty surrounding how the devs have kind of handled the ranked system so far. But this season, I feel like they tried to make it much more punishing, which I feel like makes sense. I feel like it's a step in the right direction, because in Season 1 and Season 2 in the betas, it was super easy to get to Diamond 4, and I don't think it should be an easy thing to do. I don't think it should be a time grind. I think it should just be like, if you're good, you can do it. But right now, I don't feel like it's a if you're good, you can do it type of a thing. I feel like it's more of a, I don't know, I feel like it's more of a, you have to be like really good, and also your teammates have to be really good for you to be able to get to Diamond. Not even Ruby, just to Diamond. Or just, yeah, well, to Ruby as well, I guess. And I know that may sound like silly to say, because obviously in most other games you have to be really good to get to the highest rank. But I feel like it's just really punishing in the finals. Like, I've played other games. I've got to like plat in Overwatch. I've got to like plat in Warzone, and they're not as punishing. Like, 1 win is generally equivalent to like 1 loss. Like, 1 first place finish is generally equivalent in other games to like 1 last place finish. Maybe last place finish is a little bit harsher, but it's not going to be like in other games. It's not going to be like 1 first place finish is equivalent in like ranked points or whatever to 3 losses. That's not how it's going to work in other games, because that would be insane. But that's how the finals is handling stuff, and I feel like it doesn't make sense, both because of the fact that you have to win 3 individual rounds, and because of the fact that it takes a huge amount of time to do that. Like, if you get to the final round in a game of the finals, that's gonna be like 40 minutes sometimes, like 12, 24, 36, and then the last game could go on for quite a while sometimes. So yeah, that's going to be like about 40 minutes, maybe like 30 to 40 minutes, let's say, would be a game of the finals if you make it to the final round and then finish up that game. And 1 loss can take 10 minutes. So you can spend 40 minutes trying to win 1 game, and you will get 2,000 ranked points or whatever the numbers are. And then you lose 1 game, which takes 10 minutes, which takes a quarter of the time, and you lose like 3 times as many points. And I don't feel like that makes so much sense to me. Now, I know a lot of people are probably going to be saying, oh, it's a skill issue, oh, you're just not that good. I mean, sure, maybe I'm not good enough to get to Ruby, that could definitely be true, but I also feel like regardless of that, regardless whether or not I can get to Ruby, I feel like it's still a very punishing rank system, and I feel like maybe it should just be dialed back a little bit more, because right now it also feels like that the amount of time you put into grinding for ranked isn't really respected. That's like the one thing I liked about Season 1 and Season 2 in the betas. It was that the more time you put in, just the higher you got, and that kind of felt good. It felt like good progression. Didn't feel like a rank system, but it did feel like good progression. And now that's kind of been scrapped, probably as a result of players' feedback, because no one really wanted it to be kind of, you know, just the more you play, the higher up you get. They wanted it to be an actual rank system, which is completely fair. But I just feel like now it's kind of the opposite, where the player's time isn't respected at all because of the way it works, where you can spend 40 minutes getting first place, and then you can spend 10 minutes coming last, and you lose like 3 times the points that you would if you came first place. So I just feel like it's a little bit off right now. I just feel like something's a little bit off about it. I don't quite know what the fix would be. One idea I have is to maybe like reward you for winning individual rounds. So like, if you win the first round, you get a certain amount of points. If you win the second round, you get a certain amount of points. And then if you win the final round, then you get a lot of points. And I know that's how it works right now, but I mean kind of like add them up individually instead of doing it for the whole tournament, if that makes sense. So what you can do is, like, you can make it so that each round in one game, each round kind of gives the equivalent to one game's worth of points, if that makes sense. So let's say in round 1 you win that, you come first place in that, you go up 1,000 points. Let's say in round 2, if you win that, you come first place, you go up 1,000 points. And let's say you win the tournament, maybe you go up like 2,000 points as a bonus or something. Because that's not how it works right now. How it works right now is like the tournament just decides how many points you're going to get for winning against different teams, and it's already kind of decided what you're going to get, but it does it with like the whole tournament in mind. It doesn't do it with the like individual matches in mind. It does it with the whole tournament in mind. And what I'm suggesting is that you individually reward the rounds, which would actually make it so that, like, let's say you win 3 games, right? Instead of winning 3 games giving you 6,000 points, I think like winning all 3 rounds of one match should give you 6,000 points. So winning the first round gives you 2,000, winning the second round gives you 2,000, and then winning the third round also gives 2,000. So that it's equivalent to 1 loss, which I think is the problem right now. I think the problem is like the time investment versus how much you go down for losing, and I think a way to fix that is to individually reward each round much more than it is currently being rewarded, so that, you know, if you win round 1, round 2, and round 3, that's the same as like 3 wins, so that if you come first place in one tournament, you go up like 6,000 points, and then if you come last place in the very next game, you still only go down like 6,000 points. So it's like you win 1 game and you go up the same amount as you would go down from 1 loss, whereas right now it's you win 3 games and you go up the same amount as you would from 1 loss. So I think it would just help balance it out, and yes, you'd still be spending more time to get a win than you would be to getting a loss, but it's also like that in like any battle royale rank system ever. So I feel like that's fair, but I don't like how it is right now, where you have to win 3 games to negate 1 loss. But I think if you had to win 1 game to negate 1 loss, then I feel like that's a lot fairer, and I feel like it gives a lot of people more chances. I don't really know. Again, just kind of a ramble, just kind of a rant. But right now, I definitely think there's something wrong with the rank system. I feel like the player's time isn't really being respected a whole lot, and I just feel like something's a little bit off, and I feel like it's just a little bit punishing. So that was me just trying to spout something that I could think of off the top of my head that might help to alleviate the problems and maybe try and help adjust the rank system a little bit better. But all in all, I like that it's more punishing. I think that's great. There's much more to the grind. It's much more difficult to do, and I feel like that's great. It's not just like whoever plays the most gets the highest up anymore, and I feel like that's a good thing, but I do just feel like it's a little bit too punishing, and so I would like to see this be changed in the future one way or another. I don't think anything's gonna happen this season, so I'm probably just gonna have to suck it up this season, try and keep grinding with my solo queue teammates, see how it goes. But yeah, there you go. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments down below. Let me know if you just think that I'm being a lunatic, or let me know if you have like an idea on how you could fix the rank system, because I genuinely like to hear it. Then maybe I could make like another video going through people's ideas in the comments or something like that. So yeah, there you go. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. That is also going to be it for this video. I just messed up the intro. Thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be it for this video. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe. Anyway, see you in the next one. Farewell.